Good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait for a few people to come on here. We're going to talk a little bit about one of the most prominent mindsets surrounding fitness that I think is really problematic and how we can redefine that to make you all more successful. So let's wait for a few people to come on here. I know it's a nice Tuesday morning. We got some snow today. I'll wait for a few more, some people to come on. And then we'll get to it. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and skip to probably 2 to 3 minutes. Usually it takes a little while for people to jump on. And if no one jumps on, then I'll just talk to no one. Oh, hey, Jennifer. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come on. We're going to talk today about there's a couple different themes, I think, but we're going to talk about one of the main problematic mindsets that is surrounding health and fitness and how people think of fitness and how they define fitness that is actually holding them back and making them unsuccessful. So Jessica's here. We're going to wait for a couple more people to come on, and then we'll get into it. I have some interesting analogies for you guys today. Sarah's on here. Hey, Sarah, what's up? We're going to talk today about one of the mindsets surrounding health and fitness that I think is not only perpetuated by the industry in a way that keeps it ingrained in our minds, but perpetuated by us and like our mindset surrounding that. Trevor's here. What's up? So let's get into it. I want to try to make the beginning of these a little shorter. So we're gonna start here, and then whoever is hopping on a little bit late can go ahead and watch the replay if you're late. So we're gonna talk today about something that I like to call the reductive mindset. So the reductive mindset can be, it's reflected in a lot of words that are used to market certain fitness products, certain fitness programs, certain things in the industry regarding fitness. So for many people, right, and not for everyone, but for many people, for most people who aren't reaching their goals, right, if people are reaching their goals, they've already overcome this. So that's the main thing. For many people who are not reaching their fitness goals, there is a primary problem, right? There's something problematic with their mindset surrounding fitness. And they have defined fitness as, sorry guys, my dog is about to be barking a lot because the mailman is like driving down my driveway. Okay. So they have defined fitness in reductive terms, which means that to be fit is to lose, to get smaller, to reduce, okay? Let's look at some of the terminology that we have describing a lot of fitness programs. We've got shred, we've got shrink, we've got cleanse, right? We've got chisel. We've got tone, lose, obviously, get lean. All of these things are reductive. All of these things suggest that you are getting smaller. So this applies mostly to women, right? Because there are, in the male populations, it's kind of the opposite, and I actually studied this for my anthropology thesis, right? The term big and how that's used in male populations to be like a good thing. But if you say that to a woman, she's like, hold up, bitch. So we're talking about the reductive mindset, and I think the biggest problem is that when people see fitness and they define fitness in reductive terms, it holds them back, and there's a reason for that. So we've all heard of the instant gratification mindset, okay? And I think the reductive mindset and the instant gratification mindset are like brother and sister. They go together. So not only if you're focused on losing, on getting smaller, on shrinking yourself, right? Not only is your conception of fitness skewed if that's the way that you define it, but number two, if you are in that place, you are more likely to also be trying to do it as quickly as possible. And that means not only do I think of fitness in reductive terms, but at the same time, I also want to know how quickly I can do it. How quickly can I lose weight? How quickly can I get smaller? When really, I still, and I get it because I used to have that mindset, but I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, why does it matter how fast it happens if you're going to accomplish it? And this is something I'm going to talk about in a live video probably tomorrow or Thursday. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm trying to segment my topics a little bit more. But the reductive mindset and the instant gratification mindset go hand in hand. So this is my analogy for today, okay? I was one of my bachelor's degrees is in studio art, actually, and I did a lot of art history, and I wrote a paper on Michelangelo at some point. So Michelangelo is a painter and a sculptor, right? So he sculpted out of stone, right? Pretend that you are like sculpting out of stone your dream body. Okay, not only do you have a really specific strategy for doing that, every little chisel has to count. It has to be specific, right? You can't just have at the whole thing with a drill and say, how much can I do in one day, right? Because it doesn't work like that. You have to be really careful, but you also have to have something to build from. So by default, this is going to be, technically, sculpting is reductive, right? You have something and you're carving out of the mass that you have. The problem with a lot of women is that they want want the end result of a toned, fit, muscular body, but they're starting with too little stone. If you think of stone as muscle mass, what they need to be doing is not thinking about reduction only. They need to be thinking about construction. They need to be thinking about building, right? And then later, they can focus on reduction, right? But if you reduce and you start with too little, you're gonna end up with this tiny little statue, which is like emaciated. And that's the problem that a lot of women go through, right? And not only that, but it's much harder to carve that sculpture with nice muscles and all that stuff if you don't have enough material to work with firsthand, because your metabolism is gonna be slower the less muscle mass you have, right? So Another facet of this would be, right, if you combine the reductive measure of carving a statue, right, and if you combine that with the instant gratification mindset, right, I doubt that any of Michelangelo's really, really, really successful statues, he didn't do them in one day. They took him years. They literally took him years and years and years and years of focused work. What the hell would happen if you tried to do it too quickly and you just pat at that thing with the chisel, or you got onto it with a drill? What would happen? The entire thing would fall apart and you'd have a pile of stones, right? So a lot of you guys who are focused not only on reductive measures, but on instant gratification mindset, you are walking around for a time, running around for a time, and then you end up as a pile of stones. And then you glue yourself back together and you try to do it again. And it happens even quicker the second time because the glue is not as strong as the stone was, right? And that's what you're doing to your metabolism, is you're weakening it. You're giving it no chance to recover if you are focused on restricting and reducting, like you're reducing, not reductive measures, reducing, right? So that's my analogy, right? Michelangelo took his time and he had a correct strategy, okay? Not only that, but if we take a look at the reductive mindset and turn it into a constructive mindset, a lot of women will say, well, I don't want to like get bigger. I don't want to build. It's not about that. It's not about getting bigger. When you build muscle, muscle is smaller than fat. It takes up less space than fat, but it's denser than fat. So if you focus only on reduction and on no construction at all, once you reduce, you're not gonna like the way you look. Your results aren't good, right? If you focus on reduction, many women think that if they lose weight, they're just gonna end up toned. They're gonna end up looking like a Michelangelo statue, and it just doesn't work that way, right? Not only that, but the quicker you do it, the faster you do it, the more instant gratification that you allow yourself to succumb to, the worse the results are. They're not as good, right? Those people you see that are nice and muscular and stuff like that, they did not focus on reduction firsthand. They focused on building. And then when they choose that they want to reduce their body fat percentage, they know how to do it, right? But they constructed first, okay? And this, I was having a conversation with someone about this at the gym this morning. This is the problem I see with a lot of women who do bodybuilding competitions too soon, right? A bodybuilding competition is not something to go for as a goal to lose weight. A lot of women say, I signed up for a bodybuilding competition to motivate myself to like lose weight. And I'm like, honey, like, no, that doesn't work. Because what happens is if you lean out, but you have no muscle mass underneath, which takes years and years and years and years and years to build, you end up coming in looking emaciated, right? The results are not the results that you want, right? So if you succumb to that reductive mindset, and that's all, if you define fitness as reductive, right, you are not going to get to the place that you want to be, right? And this is a fundamental mindset, like, fuck, honestly. Because like I said, the entire industry, they will call it cleanse, they will call it shred, they will call it shrink, tummy tuck, like lose, all of these words, if you look them up in the dictionary, they all fall under the category of reduction, right? Reduction. But that's not how fitness is defined, right? Weight loss, fat loss falls under reduction. Fitness is like your body's ability to perform, your body's ability to, the strength, right? That's not fitness, okay? Fitness is not reductive. So how then can we make a constructive mindset? The only way, women, to cultivate a constructive mindset is to let go of instant gratification. Like I said, reductive mindset and instant gratification, they go hand in hand, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean that it takes longer to construct than it does to reduce. You can destroy Rome in a day, but you can't build it, right? You can't build it in a day. So you have to let go of instant gratification and you have to say, I want to construct, I want to build muscle so that as I lose fat more slowly and more gradually, it will be more successful, okay? It will be more successful. So my next point then, my last point is, why then do all of us have this reductive mindset? And I believe that part of the reason is that the industry has disseminated this idea, like I said, with these words that we use under the reductive category, that fitness is reductive. And why have they done that if that's not the way it should be? They've done that because reduction is faster and it's easier, right? It's easier to understand. You can lose weight easily. You can reduce easily, right? The results are not as good, but you can do it quickly and you can do it easily. And when the whole society is based on a mindset of instant gratification, that's really fucking lucrative for the industry. They say, oh, this person wants to lose weight as quickly as they can. So if I market this to them based on a reductive principle, it will appeal to them, right? It will appeal to them. There's a reason that there's a reason that the industry appeals to people and is still afloat. And it's because we all have a reductive mindset, right? And that is also the same reason that despite people's best efforts, despite people's money spending on the industry, they are not seeing the results they want. And I would say 95 to 99% of the population is not satisfied with their bodies or their health, right? And it's because of your reductive mindset, right? And the industry is disseminating this. Okay? And the only way we can change that part of the industry is to stop supporting it and to say, like, this means something more to me. This is not reduction. I don't need your juice cleanses. Like, I am letting go of instant gratification because that's exactly what the industry appeals to, right? And it's my goal to change that, right? I train women, I show them how to do this. Yes, they get results and they get them pretty quickly because when you line your strategy up, it works. Your body responds, right? But you have to have the right strategy. And ironically, the only way to see results is to stop focusing so goddamn much on the result itself, right? Which is like, if you're focusing too much on the result itself, again, you succumb to instant gratification mindset and you think about reduction, and that's all you think about. When I go to the gym, I don't think about the calories that I'm burning. Unless I'm trying to like drop body fat. I don't think about calories, I can feel it. Unless I'm trying to drop body fat. The whole key though is that that's not my goal 100% of the time. When I go to the gym, I think of building. I think of getting stronger, right? There are other reasons that I'm doing it. I don't have a reductive mindset. I have a constructive mindset because I am committed to this for the long term. And I know that I'll see results, but I'm not fucking worried about how fast they're coming, right? And that's the reason I've been so successful, because it takes time. I'm like Michelangelo. I'm chiseling little bits at a time, building little bits at a time, right? I haven't ruined the whole statue and knocked it over to pieces trying to do things too quickly, okay? And I did that for years, right? But then I picked up the pieces and I said, I'm going to start with a new block right here, and I'm going to do it slowly this time. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it constructively. I'm going to let go of reduction, and I'm going to help other people do it, okay? So if you are unsure of how to start switching that mindset, how to start weight training women, how to start with a constructive workout program that will allow you to lose weight, certainly, but your focus is not 100% on that, right? That's where you're going to see results. That's where you're going to make changes. If you're ready for that, hit me up. I'd love to talk to you about it. We have a community of women. I have all my ladies. They're killing it. Even one woman this week, right? She restricted carbs for years and didn't trust herself. We added carbs back in this week and she lost 2 pounds. Like, you need to know the strategy, you need to know the science, and you need to have trust in yourself, but you also can't worry about how quickly it's going to happen, okay? So hit me up, let me know. I hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.